thing you want in your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus. But as it turns out, that might be money again.
New year, new me. And of course, lots of new albums to listen to. You may notice that I didn't do a video for December or January, and that was deliberate. Not much really releases during those months, and I also wanted to take a little break. But I'm back now, so yippee! With that little introduction out of the way, let's get on with the video. Raise your hooves, every pony, it's time to dance. I've seen a lot of people call this Mount Eerie, the album, for ponies, and yeah, I can see that. I hadn't listened to any Vylet Pony before this. I had seen her around plenty as she had a huge album in 2021 and 2022. She's an incredibly prolific artist, so when I saw she had released yet another album this year, I thought I may as well go and see what all the hype was about. And my god, do I get the hype. Vylet is an incredibly talented producer, with each of these songs sounding unique and full of charm and character. This is the type of record you really don't hear very often, and it's incredibly refreshing. It's an introspective album, dealing with that inner voice telling you aren't good enough, and that you should give up. The album feels like its title, a constant carousel spinning you round and round through different genres and sounds, all unique and all incredibly engaging. Sometimes optimistic, sometimes pessimistic, but always from the heart. Everything will be okay is the message that is sent out from this album. Don't let the presentation fool you. This may be an MLP fan album, but it is so much more than that once you begin to listen to it. It's true passion. 9 out of 10. It's been 6 years since the last Paramore release. I was 14 when After Laughter released, and I remember falling in love with it. It was my introduction to Paramore, and ever since then, I've always adored that record, and the band as a whole. I'm nearly 19 now, and I know that isn't 6 years, but I was around 14, okay? Give or take. And we finally got Paramore's 6th record, This Is Why. Was it worth the wait? The breath I've baited for years and years as I grew up? Definitely. Paramore have always been a band that evolved constantly. No album of theirs sound alike. Riot sounds nothing alike to After Laughter, and their most recent album, This Is Why, sounds nothing alike to their self-titled, for example. Paramore change all the time, so it was exciting to see where this new era would take us. This Is Why is a post-punk revival album. It's the first big post-punk revival album I've seen in probably a decade or so. The genre really hasn't been faring very well, but Paramore are here to bring it back, hopefully. This is an incredibly tightly packaged album. At only 36 minutes, it gives us 10 of Paramore's best cuts and shows us that Paramore are a band that will never die and will never grow old. They still manage to make music that sounds as fresh as they did nearly 20 years ago. It's amazing. This album is catchy, it's fun, it's emotional, and on a musical level, it's probably their best. Each one of these songs feels so clean cut, and you can really tell they spent a lot of time on each one. Songs like Crave with its dreamy, nostalgic soundscape, or Running Out of Time with its anxious bass plucking, and Hayley's gorgeous spoken vocals. The LCD sound system influence really shines on this one. Paramore for life, baby. 9 out of 10. Caroline Polachek is nothing less than an absolute girl boss. I have no other way to describe her other than that. She has shown that she is a pop powerhouse and is able to wrap the genre around her sleeve and create pop bangers that remain glued to your brain for weeks on end. Desire I Want to Turn Into You is absolutely full of these bangers that get stuck in your head, that you end up humming for days on end. She makes music that feels like a drug, music you can't get enough of. I was already hooked when I heard the single Welcome to My Island, along with its stellar music video. Each one of the singles released for this album were all quite different from each other, but they all showed us a clear picture as to what we were getting with this record. And that is just pop genius. 8 out of 10. Yola Tengo have been on the scene for so long. Their first album was released all the way back in 1986, and since then they've still been releasing regularly without taking much of a break between records. It's insane how much dedication the band have to their craft, and they show no sign of stopping anytime soon. This Stupid World is their 17th studio album and 24th album release as a whole. This isn't mentioning all of their EPs either. They have a massive catalogue that will only continue to grow with time. Listening to this record, I can see how the band have changed from their early days with a noisier, more post-rocky sound, but they still very much maintain what makes the band unique. The soft vocal performances from both Era and Georgia that have always been what makes the band especially gorgeous to so many people. It still shines through the dirty mix, and I don't call it dirty as a bad thing either. This Stupid World feels like an album that's tired of everything that's going on and just wants to rest. There are times where it gets more aggressive, and there are times where it just slows down completely. But throughout its 48-minute runtime, it manages to remain a calming presence amongst the chaos of the world, which is all you can really hope for from a Yola Tengo album. 9 out of 10. Horny industrial noise rock that's gay. Count me in. Dogsbody is the debut release from Boston band Model/Actriz, and it is an absolute powerhouse. It's noisy, it's horny, and it's even a little bit frightening at times. What more could you ask for? Dogsbody is much more than just an album about sex. It talks about how people use sex as a coping mechanism, and the album follows our narrator as he does just that to deal with his own trauma. This album is noisy and aggressive, and it uses that aggression to make some immensely catchy and captivating songs, while also creating some of the best atmospheres I've heard all year. Songs like Mosquito with its one-line chorus and Slate with a style and sound I can only describe as a dance punk shoo-shoo. But you also get songs like Divers and Sleepless, which are almost breaks in the tracklist where everything comes to an abrupt stop. You'd think that this would disrupt the flow of the album, but it only makes it flow even better. It adds a twisted beauty to everything and gives you time to breathe while also really showcasing the desperate situation the narrator truly is in. He is struggling and we only see him fall deeper and deeper into this pit. It's a cliff he's sliding down while trying his best to climb back up, but each rock and edge he grabs onto only makes him slide further and further down. For only 38 minutes, a lot is said and done in this album. It is definitely worth your time. 10 out of 10. I saw a lot of praise for this album, as it has already seemed to have garnered a small cult following in RYM over the past month, along with its sister and more popular album, Burned Car Highway Light Volcanic. I watched 10 Years of Pacific Weather as my personal favourite of the two, as I feel it uses a genre and soundscape to its full potential to create something truly magnificent. The best way to describe this album is a dream. And I don't mean that in the same way someone might describe Beach House or Cocteau Twins as a dream. This feels like an actual dream. It's not linear, it goes all over the place and uses incredibly odd and out-of-place samples to paint a very vivid picture. It's like leaving your own bathroom to find yourself in your best friend's house and turning around to see that the room you just left isn't there anymore. And now there's another bathroom to the left of you, and there's also someone you've never met before talking to you. It's crazy, but it all feels amazing. Listening to this feels like true escapism for an hour, and it's freeing almost. I also get a similar feeling here that I do with the previously mentioned Violet Pony album. There is a chill sample on the second track which feels so out of place and uncanny that it's just funny. I can't take it seriously, but that's very obviously the point. I just sort of have to sit there and go to myself, this is crazy, I love it. Because it is. Dreams are a crazy thing. 10 out of 10. And with that, we move on to the singles of the month. What goodies will we uncover? Ooh. That was shit. Let's start with a fucking banger. Lana has always been a really odd artist in my eyes, because she either makes amazing, beautiful music, or she drops average, nothing special music with a pretty voice. Her previous two albums, Chemtrails Over the Country Club and Blue Banisters, have both been that, minus a couple of songs. But it looks like her upcoming release, Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard? I'm not saying that full title again. It's going to be something special. The first single was already stellar, but this one? Oh my god, I'm in heaven. A&W, also known as American Whore, shows that Lana still has it, with one of the best beat switches in a song since Nights by Frank Ocean. I might be reaching a bit there, but I don't care. It's orgasmic. The song is split into two halves, the first being standard, pretty Lana, still nothing to scoff at, but the second half is when things really kick into gear. Her soft repetition of the lines, Jimmy Jimmy Cocoa Puff, Jimmy Jimmy Ride, are something to behold. The heavy trap beat and intense production is hypnotizing, and she has the fucking gall to sample Norman fucking Rockwell too. This song is just insane. Squid are finally back with a song that I've seen a lot of people describe as the beginning of their Kid A era, and yeah, I can sort of see it. This is definitely a new era and sound for the band, but they still maintain what made them unique and pop in the first place. Ollie's shouty and eccentric vocals still take center stage. It wouldn't be a Squid song without them. The song does have a noticeably more electronic feel to it though. The post-punk eccentricities are put aside for a more art rock feel, and it feels like a natural evolution for the band. There seem to be no signs of the intense screams from songs like Narrator or Pamphlet, but instead we have more complex instrumental arrangements and tuneful vocal performances. I'm very excited to see what this album has in store for us. It is very safe to say that I'm extremely excited for the new Dispirited Spirits album. From the 3 singles we've got, including this one, this album is shaping up to be one of 2023's best, and it's barely even March. From the time of writing this. I know this video is up much later, ignore that fact. I really enjoyed their debut release Fragments of a Dying Star, but from these singles alone I can tell that this album is about to blow that one out of the park. Out of the fucking sky, even. Methanol Fire is probably my favourite of the singles, but it's hard to pick a favourite when they're all so amazing. The vocal performance on this track showcase raw and filtered emotion, and that coupled with the incredibly clean and crisp production, it only makes it all the more intoxicating. I don't know how they even do it, but the production on this track especially is some of the cleanest I've heard in a long, long time. And it amazes me that this is a completely solo project. And with that, we come to the end of February, and I know it's almost the end of March now. I haven't been very well, I'll be honest. I got really bad food poisoning and then just put this video off. I promise that, well, I don't know. Anyway, you're watching it now, so it's fine. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you check out any of these albums and singles that have released. I know the Dispirited Spirits album is already released, and I will talk about that in the next video. But when I was writing this, I hadn't heard it yet, so it's fine. It's not like a spoiler, it's fine. Other than that, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and donate to my Ko-fi because this video probably won't have ads because of the reasons I've given every single other time. Copyright, but I like making the videos this way, so I don't really mind about that aspect. But you can donate to my Ko-fi if you enjoy the content, because, you know, it's nice. The 2021 video is coming, I promise. 2022, sorry. It is coming, I promise. I'm just writing the script, and it's really long, so it just might take a while. But it is going to come at some point. Anyway, you can tell I haven't written anything for this like usual, so I'm just umming a lot. But hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and go listen to some fucking music.